and welcome. I am Freya and this is Indy. I'm here to guide you through your beginner's flow today. She's leaving. So today we're going to do a beginner's yoga flow. It's going to be vinyasa inspired flow. So I want you to come to a comfortable seat to begin with. I am sat on just a folded up blanket. You can sit on a bolster, you can sit on a pillow, just really anything you have around you. So when we sit on top of something, that makes our hips come up a little bit higher, which makes our knees be lower than our hips. And when our knees are lower than our hips, it's easier for us to sit up with a straight back. So that's what we're looking for here. We're looking to sit with a straight back. So when you found your comfortable seat, just take a second to just feel where your hips are at and try and make some lengthening of your tailbone. We want to lengthen through the sides of the body and roll the shoulders back and down. Then we're going to make sure that our head is stacked on top of our spine. Our chin is tucked into our throat. And from here, we're going to take our right arm and we're going to put it down next to us, either with our hands flexed like this, or just hands on the ground. Depending on how high you're sitting, you might not be able to touch the ground, so that's why we can flex our hand and push it down towards the ground. And then we're going to take our left arm, hold on to the side of our head, and just have a little stretch of our neck here. So we're going to take our left ear towards our left shoulder. We're just going to take a couple of breaths here. So breathe in through your nose and exhale through your nose. Just giving our neck a little bit of love whilst we land on the mat here today. Very nice. So inhale, let go. Switching sides. So left hand come down beside you and your right hand come to the left side of your head. Right ear to right shoulder. Flexing that left hand is going to create a little bit more of a stretch through the side than if you have your hand down, but it's up to you, whichever feels best for you today. Remember to keep your spine straight and breathe. Very nice. Next, inhale, arms up overhead, and exhale. So you can put your hands on your knees, and from here we're going to do a couple of cat-cows. If you're sat on a bolster and sat like this, that's absolutely fine. Just keep sitting like that and put your hands on your knees. Just stay wherever you are. Keep the spine long for now. And as we inhale, we put our chest forward, head up. And exhale, we round the spine, look into our belly button. Inhale, chest forward, look up. Exhale, rounding the back and looking in towards our belly button. So just follow your own breath here. However slow or fast that might be today. Try and just move with your breath. That's really what we're looking for here. Just moving with our breath. Waking up our spine a little bit before our practice here today. Very good. Next inhale, come into a neutral spine, And then we're going to come onto all fours. So if you're sitting on a blanket, you can just put it to the side, and then we're going to come into all fours. If you have sore knees, you can always put a blanket as a support for your knee or double up your mat, just so that you have that little bit of extra support. That can be quite nice. So from here, we're going to have our shoulders over our wrists, and we're going to have our knees over below our hips, and then we're going to press our fingers into the ground, And we're going to push the floor away so that we don't collapse in our shoulders like this, yeah? Pushing the floor away. We're just going to take a second to just wake up our abs a little bit. So we're going to tuck our toes, push the floor away, neutral spine. We don't want to be having our back like this. Just neutral spine, also not like this. Neutral all the way. So find a neutral spine, pushing the floor away, and then on your next inhale, we're going to lift our knees just off the ground. If you feel like this is just impossible, just put one of your knees on the ground and just lift the one. And breathe. Last breath here. Exhale, knees back down. Then we're going to put our feet together and we can move our knees out as wide as the mat, or more narrow, whatever you prefer. Hips to our heels and arms out in front of us. So we're going to turn our palms to point up to the ceiling, just to give our wrist a little bit of relaxation here. So this is our child's pose. Whenever you want to rest throughout this practice or any practice, you can always come back to child's pose. Very nice. Next inhale, you put your hands in the ground, push yourself up, and come back into that tabletop. So you're just going to find the tabletop, and we're going to make sure we push the floor away, fingers pressing into the mat. You should be seeing your fingertips going wide a little bit here because you're pressing them into the mat. And neutral spine, tuck the toes, and then we're just going to do it one more time. Inhale, lift up. If you're lifting only one of your knees before, you just lift the other one this time. So the lower down towards the ground you are, the harder it will be. So you can just play around with how far down can you go. And breathe. Very nice, last breath. Exhale, knees down, toes together, and back into our child's pose. Very nice. If your hips doesn't come all the way down to your heels, it's not a problem. You can always put the blanket in between your hips and your heels to just have that little bit more support. And from here, you're gonna come up to the tips of your fingers, and then you're going to walk your hands to the right side, just as far as is comfortable for you. And then we're just gonna have a little bit of a stretch in the right side. So relax your neck, lower your head down. Stay on the tips of your fingers here. And feel the stretch. Inhale, lift yourself up, walk the fingers across all the way to the left side, as far as you can go. Lower your head down and feel the stretch on the left side. You can check in here to see how your left side is feeling. Is it feeling tight? Is it feeling looser than the right side? Inhale, come up and walk to the middle of your mat. Push the hands into the ground. Tuck your toes, come up into your first downward facing dog. So we want to be pressing our hands into the ground. Strong arms. Make sure you use them. And then we're going to paddle out our legs. So bend one knee at a time. Just kind of landing in the pose here today. and then try and come to a neutral position here. So what we're looking for in the downward dog is a straight back. So bend your knees as much as you need to have your back straight in this pose. So often if we straighten our legs, it might look a little bit something like this, where we round our spine a lot, but we're looking to lengthen it. So it helps to bend the knees, and it's okay if your heels don't touch the ground. That's not like a requirement for this pose. So find out where you're comfortable here, and let's just take a few breaths. Good job. Inhale, come up to your toes, look forward, and then we're going to walk our hands in between walk our feet in between our hands. Exhale and fold. Again, bend your knees. We're looking for the stomach to touch the thighs here, so just bend as much as you need to. Inhale, straight back, come all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side, palms facing forward. So this is our mountain pose. So we're going to start now in mountain pose, and then we're going to go through a couple of sun salutations. So we're in our mountain pose, we have our feet hip distance apart. We have our knees a little bit bent, and then we want to make sure that our pelvis is neutral, so our tailbone is lengthened. If you're not sure what that looks like for you, you can try and just spend half a minute to just play around with your hips a little bit and your pelvis and see, maybe this feels natural, but maybe you can feel that there's actually a curve when you're standing like this. So we want to just make sure that we have lengthening in our spine. So lift up through the sides of your body and roll your shoulders back, arms out to the side, palms facing forward. And we want to take our chin in towards the throat, lengthening the back of our neck. Very nice. So this is your mountain pose. We're going to visit this a couple of times. Take a breath, and on your inhale, arms up overhead, option to look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold but hinge from the hips. Again, belly, we want the belly to be on the thighs. Relax your head, relax your neck. Inhale, lift halfway up. Again, bend your knees as much as you need to. What we're looking for is a straight back here. We can be up here if it's best, if this is what feels good for us. Exhale, hands on the ground and step back into a plank, knees down. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower yourself all the way down to the ground. Inhale, we're coming up to baby cobra. So here we want to roll our shoulders back and lift. So you want to lift with your back muscles, not with your hands. You need to be able to remove your hands and still be in the same position. It's hard. Chin in towards the throat so that we lengthen the back of our head. And then we exhale, push hips to the heels, and then tuck our toes up to downward facing dog. Very nice. Good job. So now we're in downward facing dog again. We're going to press through our hands, strong arms, bend the legs as much as we need to make sure we create the lengthening in our lower back. If you think about the top of your thigh bone, think about the top of your thigh bone going up towards the sky. Relax your neck, press into the fingers. Then inhale, look forward, come up to your toes and step in between your hands, lift up halfway. Again, can look like this, straight back. Exhale, fold, thighs to belly. Inhale, bend your legs straight back and all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, back to our mountain pose. Very nice. I'm going to go through it 2 more times, a little bit faster, and then we're very warmed up for our practice. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, hands to the ground, step back, knees down to your plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, shoulders roll back, and we're coming up into our baby cobra. Exhale, pushing back up into our downward facing dog. Very nice. Inhale, up to our toes, look forward, step your feet up in between your hands, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, straight back, all the way up, arms overhead. And exhale, arms down by your side. Very nice. One more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees as much as you need. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the ground. Back into your planks, knees down. Inhale. Exhale, all the way down. Untuck the toes. Inhale, baby cobra. Remember to lengthen the back of the neck here. Exhale. Hips up to the sky into our downward facing dog. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. So get comfortable. Remember to press into the mat. Strong arms. Relaxing the neck. Bending the knees as much as we need to create that length. Very nice. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Inhale, we're going to come down to our child's pose. Knees as wide as the mat, feet together, arms in front of you. You can use the support of a blanket between your hips and your legs if you need to. Breathe here, just try and catch your breath for a second. A little bit of relaxation until we go to the next part of our practice. Very nice. So, hands on the ground. Inhale, lift your upper body up. Come up, tuck your toes and up into our downward facing dog again. From here, we're going to lift our right leg up into the sky. So, flex your foot and make your toes point down towards the mat. So this will probably make you not able to lift your leg as high, but that's okay. My leg doesn't come any higher than this when I do that. And then now we're going to open up our hip so our toes are pointing out to the right side. And then we're going to bend our knee. And then you might feel a stretch here. Stay here. Then we're going to do circles with our right knee. As big as you can. Remember to breathe. Nice. Other way. Your toes can be pointed here. Nice. Straighten the leg back up. Take an inhale. On your exhale, step your foot in between your hands. From here, we're going to lower our back knee down. And then we're going to come into our low lunge. So, in our low lunge today, we're going to find a version where we have 90 degrees and 90 degrees in the back. About. It's okay if it's not 100% 90 degrees. And then we're going to make sure that our hips are pointing forward. We're going to create length in our tailbone. Roll our shoulders back and reach our arms up on the inhale. Nice. On your next exhale, we're going to open up to the right side. So our right hand come behind us, left hand in front of us. You can look back towards your right thumb. We're going to stay here for one more breath. Next, inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, hands on either side of the right foot. And then step yourself back into a plank. From here, we're going to knees down, lower ourselves. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, hips to heels, and up into our downward facing dog. Very nice. We're going to repeat it on the other side. So left leg up towards the sky, pointing our toes down to the ground, just so that we make sure that that hip is squared, so we don't open it until we're ready. Just notice how this feels for you, with the toes pointing towards the ground. You can look back at them and make sure that they're actually pointed down and not just feeling like they're pointing down. Now we're going to open up, toes pointing to the left side. Try and keep your shoulders squared to the front of the mat here so that they don't open up with you like this. Bending the knee, opening up. Maybe you feel a stretch here in your right thigh. And then we make circles, pointing our foot. Very nice. Other way around. Remember to press those fingers into the mat. Nice. Inhale, leg up to the sky. Exhale, step it forward in between your hands. Knee down. Coming up into our lunge. So first we just arrive here, making sure we're finding our 90 degrees, various places. Very nice. 90 degrees, hips facing forward, shoulders back, arms up, tailbone lengthened. Very nice. And breathe. Try to make your shoulders go away from the ears. That's why we put our shoulders back in the beginning, so we're not like this. Very nice. Inhale. And exhale, we're opening up to our left side. Good. If it's comfortable, you can look back to your left thumb. It's okay if it's hard to keep the balance here. Looking at one point that isn't moving will help a little bit with that. Last breath. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands to the ground. Back into your downward facing dog. Forward to plank, knees to the ground. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, hips to ankles and up into downward facing dog. Very good, guys. So from here, we're going to inhale up until the tippy toes. Look forward. Step both of our feet in between our hands, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This time we're going to stay in our fold. So you can, if it's comfortable, reach either side of your elbows. Breathe here and bend the knees as much as you need for it to be comfortable to be here, yeah? We're looking for that belly to touch the thighs. You can sway a little bit back and forward. Find stillness again. Relax your neck. Relax your shoulders. And feel your spine decompressing. Very nice. Let go of the elbows. Inhale, bend the knees if they're not already bent, and come up with a straight back, arms overhead. Exhale. Arms down behind your sides, beside you. Very nice. So we're going to come into a tree pose now at the top of our mat. If you're facing the long side, that's fine as well. We're going to start on our right side. So you're going to lift your toes, right toes off the ground, spread those sort of toes out, and then put them down one by one. So if you look down on your foot, it might look a little bit wider than it did before. That's great. So we're trying to create a bigger surface to balance on. Sorry. Bend that right knee a little bit. And then our first variation is to take our toes on the ground and the sole of our foot to our right angle, like this. Hands in prayer in front of your heart. Find a place in the room where you can keep your focus with your eyes so that you don't, you keep your balance a bit better when you do that. I can't guarantee you won't fall. Next step, you can, if it's comfortable, have your leg on your calf instead. Then we'd be here. The last one you can do is having the sole of your foot in towards your thigh. So to keep balance here, you can press your thigh and your foot in towards each other. Hands in prayer in front of your heart. Very good job. So try and avoid using the knee as the place on the right leg where you're going to put your the pressure from the left leg. I mean, most people will be absolutely fine if they do it, but we're just trying to spare the knee a little bit. If you fall, absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with it. We've all been there. You saw me just before. Maybe you did. Maybe you're looking somewhere else, I hope. Nice. On your next exhale, you're going to take your foot, place it down on your mat again, and then just give that right foot a little bit of a shake. Good job. Then we're going to do the same on the left side. So we're going to spread our toes out, put them on the ground. Then we're going to have a slight bend in the knee. And then the first variation, just like before, here. Second variation here. Or you can come with your heel on your inner thigh. Ooh. See, almost falling already. Hands in heart center. Ooh. In prayer. Just focus on one spot, and that will really help you gain some balance here in this pose. And then breathe. We're going to stay here for 2 more breaths. Nice. Our last exhale, we're going to take our foot, place it back on the mat, and give that left leg a little bit of a, maybe you want to give them both a little bit of a shake. Good job. Nice. So back on the top of our mat, we're going to inhale, arms up, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway up, and exhale, coming back into our plank, lowering the knees, inhaling here, and exhaling all the way down. So I'm just going to move myself down the mat a little bit. So from here, you're going to place your elbows next to you. And then we're going to do baby cobra, but this time we're going to hold it. So lengthen your tailbone down so that you're pressing it down a little bit into the ground. And then we're going to create length in the sides of our bodies and roll our shoulders back. Hands underneath the shoulders. And then inhale, come up. And breathe. Up here, stay here. We're creating a little bit of strength in our back. Nice. Inhale. And exhale, we lower down. Put your left cheek on the floor and just put your arms down beside you. Then we're just going to lie here for a second. Stretching our neck a little bit whilst taking it all in. Very good. Hands back where they were. Head in. Roll the shoulders back. And lift on your inhale. Breathe. So this time, remember that I said that we need to be able to move the hands and still be in the same position? That's what we're going to do. Hands off the ground. Remember to have your chin in towards your throat. Last breath. And lower down. Left cheek on the mat. Arms down by your side. You're doing very well. Good job. Very good. On your next inhale, we're going to come back, rolling our shoulders back. So this time it's going to be a bit different. You're going to point your toes off your feet, lengthen that tailbone again like we did before. And then we're going to inhale, come up, reach our hands behind us and lift the legs up. If it's available for you, you can grab your hands and interlace them behind you and lift yourself up as far as you go and breathe. Very nice. If your hands are not interlaced, that's absolutely fine. If they are, you can let go now and exhale, come back down. Very good. From here, we're just gonna roll. We're just gonna stay here, sorry. And you can put your left chin back on the mat. Then you're gonna take your right leg. Left leg stays where it is. Right leg comes out like this. So by doing this, we're just neutralizing our spine a little bit. So we're going to, if it's possible for you, you can lift your upper body and just come a little bit further towards your left knee. So moving the upper body to the left as well. So your leg is in like a half frog pose. You don't need to flex your foot, just relax here for a little bit. Very nice. Good job. Okay. Coming back through the middle, stretching that left leg out, and we're going to do the same with the right leg. Right leg out to the side. Lifting our upper body, bringing it towards the right side. If that's not available for you, moving the upper body, then you just stay with the upper body straight, left cheek on the ground, your right leg in the frog position, and the left leg straight down. We've just done a bit of back bending, so we're just trying to neutralize our spine again to just get it back to where it was. Very nice. So from here, we're going to come back to the middle, and then we're just going to roll over. to our backs. So very nice. So from here, you're going to have your soles of your feet on the ground, on the mat, and then about hip distance apart. They can be a little bit wider. And then you're going to lift your right leg up into the sky. And then you're going to point your toes. So when I say point your toes, flex your foot, I mean flex your foot, don't point your toes. So I'd call this point your toes, this flex your foot. Flexing your foot means toes pointing down towards your face. Very good. If you're here, that's absolutely fine. If your knee, you just bend your knee as much as you need to. What we're going to do now is we're going to take our left heel onto our, right heel onto our left knee. Excuse me. And this is our figure 4 pose. If you're here and you can feel a stretch anywhere really, then you can just stay. We're looking for a stretch in our glutes, and it could be in our outer hips as well. If you don't feel anything here, then you can lift your left leg up, interlace your finger behind your left thigh. Remember to keep that foot flexed. And then you can pull your leg as close to you as you need to feel that stretch. What we don't want to do is we don't want to pull so much that our bum comes off the ground, right? We just stay where it's still available, where we still have the hips on the ground. Yes? So just try and feel the stretch in that left glute. How does it feel? Is it tense? Or do you not feel much of a stretch here? I invite you to close your eyes if it's comfortable for you. We're going to be here for one more breath. Okay, on your exhale, you take your left foot, sole of the foot on the ground. You lift your right leg off the left leg and put the right foot's sole also on the ground. And then we're going to swap sides. So left leg comes up to the sky. Flex the foot so the toes are pointing down towards your face. And then we're going to put that left knee on top of the left ankle on top of the right knee, and again, just wherever is comfortable for you. If you feel the stretch here, you could just stay down here. Or even if it's just most comfortable for you today, then you just stay here. And if you want a deeper stretch, you lift that right leg off the ground, interlace the fingers behind your thighs and pull it towards you. Try not to pull so hard that you're straining and you're tensing in your neck and your shoulders. We are trying to wind down because our practice is coming to an end. So remember to keep that left foot flexed here. And then just try and notice your stretch. It most likely feels a bit different to your right side. Maybe it's easier to get in the pose on this side, or maybe you feel much more of a stretch on this side. Our two sides are never, very rarely at least, the same. We'll always be using one leg more, one leg not as much. One last inhale here. And exhale, sole of the right foot on the floor. Left leg comes off and on the floor as well. Then you're just going to walk your feet out about hip mat width to the width of the mat, and then still bending the knee. And then we're going to let our knees fall first to the right side. Exhale here. Inhale up through center, and exhale to the left side. Very nice. Inhale through center, exhale right side. So you can just follow your breath here. It's completely normal that your hips, if your hips come off the ground here, you just let them. Very nice. So now you're going to just lift your knees up and wrap your arms around them and just give yourself a little bit of a hug to thank yourself for coming today. And then we're going to come into our Savasana. So straighten out your legs about the same width as the mat. If you feel like it, you can put a bolster underneath your knees to get that little bit of extra relaxation today. I think you deserve it. So close your eyes and have your palms facing the ceiling. If the room you're in isn't necessarily warm, you can find a blanket and put it on top of you so that you don't get cold. I recommend that you stay here for 5 to 10 minutes in your Savasana, just to let your body take in our practice today. So thank yourself for coming, and I want to thank you for coming here today and practicing. I'm proud of you. I think you did really well. So thank you for that. Have a great day.